Hello everyone. I've been trying to make a video for a long time now, but was keeping really busy, so didn't really get the time to do it. Anyways, so for this video, I want to cover TSEAMCET trigonometry questions in English. So in this video, I have chosen 5 problems. So you can see this is the first problem, then the second, third, fourth, fifth. So these are all from 2019 paper. I have taken these problems. So let's get right to it. So the first problem states the period of cosine of x plus 8x plus 27x plus dot 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 n cube x is. So how do we approach this problem? So first we should know the period of cosine of x. It's 2 pi, simple. We know why is it 2 pi, right? Because when you draw the graph of cosine of x, it's a periodic function. So this is 0, this is pi by 2, this is pi, this is 3 pi by 2, this is 2 pi. So all the values after plus 1 and this one here is minus 1. All the values after 2 pi will start repeating itself, right? So this has a period of 2 pi. Cos of x has a period of 2 pi, but this is not exactly cos of x. So we need to first solve this series. So the series is x plus 8x plus 27x plus dot 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 n cube x. So this is just a cubic series, right? If we take x common, x out, you will get 1 plus 1 is 1 cube, 8 is 2 cube, 3 cube is 27 plus n cube. So it's easy, right? So, and we know this cubic series, everybody knows it's n into n plus 1 divided by 2 whole square. So the period of cosine of x is 2 pi. So the period of this cosine of this will be what? 2 pi divided by this number. That's it. So the period will be 2 pi divided by this number. And when you divide it, this will go up and this will go down. So 2 square is what? 4. And this will be n square into n plus 1 whole square. 2 into 4 is what? 8 pi. 2 into 4 is 8, pi was there, n square by n plus 1 whole square. So this should be the period. Where is it? This one. Okay, look at the next problem. This is also very easy problem. Sine square 3 degrees plus sine square 6 degrees plus sine square 9 degrees plus dot 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 plus sine square 90 degrees. How many terms is it? How many terms is it? 30 terms, right? 3 to 90, this is a total of 30 terms. I mean, if you take out 3 common, so this will be 1, 2, 3, 4 dot 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 till 30. So total of 30 terms. Okay, now that we have 30 terms, I want to write it in this way. Sine square 3. I will write sine square 87 below this one. Sine square 6. I will write sine 84 here. Sine square 84 below sine square 6. Sine square 9. I will write what? Sine square 81 here. So we will keep on doing that for all these terms. Okay, and why do I write them like this? Because we know that sine square 87 can be written as sine square 90 minus 3. And we know that sine 90 minus theta is cos theta. So this will become cos square 3 degrees. Cos square of 3 degrees. Sine square x plus cos square x is 1. So we know that these terms will add and give us 1. So we'll get 1 from here, 1 from here, 1 from here. Okay, but how many ones do we get? We need to count carefully, otherwise we will get the answer wrong. So this will continue till sine square 42 degrees here and sine square 48 here. So sine square 48 will also be written as sine square of 90 minus 42, which will become cos square 42. So sine square 42 degrees plus cos square 42 degrees will again give you 1. So I have covered all the terms here. How many terms are there? 1, 2, 14 here, 14 here. So 28 terms are covered. Only 2 terms are remaining. Which one is this? Sine square 90, and I have not considered sine square 45 here. So we will be having 1 plus 1 plus 1. How many times? 14 times. Plus we will have sine square 45. We know that sine 45 is 1 by root 2. 1 by square root of 2, but it's squared, so it will be 1 by root 2 whole square. And sine square 90, we know that sine 90 is 1, so it will be 1 squared. So 1 added 14 times is 1. 1 by square root of 2 whole squared is 1 by 2. 1 square is 1. So 15 plus 1 by 2, 15 plus 1 by 2 is 31 by 2. So this one. This was also an easy problem. Now this problem 3. Now this one is a tough one. We want this is actually a tough question. You need to be very methodical while you're trying to solve this one. So I actually want to use complex numbers to solve this problem, because if I try to go by using trigonometric identities, this will take like 15 to 20 minutes easily. But if I go by complex numbers, oh, that's easy. Z raised to the power 7 plus 1 equals to 0 is a complex number, is an equation in complex number Z that I'm going to use to solve this problem. So let us assume that there is a complex number Z which solves this which is a root of this equation, Z raised to the power 7 plus 1 equals to 0. Now you might be wondering why I have chosen this Z raised to the power 7 here. Why 1? Because we all know that e raised to the power iota pi is equal to minus 1. 7 I have chosen because it's 7 here. That's why I have chosen 7. So that solves the mystery. So when I write this as this, z raised to the power 7 equals to minus 1 or e to the power iota pi, I can solve it easily. The roots will be what? Z will be, when you take the power 1 by 7 of it, it will give you Z. So e to the power iota pi by 7. Easy solution. And we know that when we expand it, we will get what? Cos pi by 7 plus iota sine pi by 7. So this is the kind of term that I am getting, and we can see it's also here cos pi by 7. So this is just one root, and this is 7-degree problem, 7-degree equation. So there should be 6 other roots. So the 6 other will be e to the power 3 pi by 7. This is really basic. If you go to the complex number chapter, you will see that when you take the solution of complex equations, especially when you go to the cube roots of unity, you will find similar problems. So this concept is taken from there. As the period of both sine and cosine is 2 pi, hence 2 pi is added to the numerator to get the subsequent roots. That is what I am doing here. So nothing out of the ordinary over here. 9 pi by 7, 11 pi by 7. Last one will be 13 pi by 7. So all of these complex numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are the roots of this equation. Now we know from the theory of equations that the sum of the roots is given by minus b by a. But there is no term of z raised to the power 6 over here. So sum of the roots should be 0. Sum of the roots is 0. So all of these added will be 0. Right? So e to the power iota pi by 7 plus e to the power iota 3 pi by 7 plus e to the power iota 5 pi by 7 plus e to the power iota 7 pi by 7 plus e to the power iota 9 pi by 7 plus 11 plus 13 pi by 7 should be equal to 0. Okay, and when I expand this in cos and sine terms, I will get two parts, real part and imaginary part. Since it is equal to 0, the real part has to be 0 and the imaginary part has to be 0. What will be the real part of it? Cos pi by 7 plus cos 3 pi by 7 plus cos 5 pi by 7 plus cos 7 pi by 7. 7 pi by 7 will be what? Cos pi plus cos 9 pi by 7 plus cos 11 pi by 7 plus cos 13 pi by 7 is equal to 0. So this is somewhat looking like what I really want to know. Cos pi by 7, cos 3 pi by 7, cos 5 pi by 7, I've got these terms, 3, 5. What I don't have is minus 2, minus 4, minus 6. But can I get them from here, from these three terms? Yes, I can. If I want to write it as cos pi plus theta, that is cos pi plus 2 pi by 7, this will become minus cos 2 pi by 7. If I write it as cos pi plus 4 pi by 7, this will become minus cos 4 pi by 7. And this will become minus cos 6 pi by 7. So we have got what we need, cos pi by 7 minus cos 2 pi by 7 plus cos 3 pi by 7 minus cos 4 pi by 7 plus cos 5 pi by 7 minus cos 6 pi by 7 plus cos pi is equal to 0. So the answer is 0 except for this term cos pi. So is this the answer? No, we have cos pi. Cos pi is what? Cos pi is minus 1. As we can see from the graph here, this is pi by 2 and this is pi. So cos pi is minus 1. And when you take the cos pi term to the right, you will get minus cos pi. Cos pi is minus 1. So minus of minus 1 is what? 1. So there you go. This is 1. So if it looks too difficult, do not worry, because it is a difficult question. So the solution has to be difficult as well. So that's about this problem. You can also get a similar problem if they asked about sine pi by 7, cosine 2 pi by blah blah blah. You just have to equate the imaginary part of these roots equal to 0, and then you will also get another problem similar to this one. Maybe it's possible they will ask it next time, so who knows. Okay, so the fourth problem is the number of integral values of k for which the equation 7 cos x plus 5 sin x equals to 2k plus 1 has a solution is. We need to find the number of integral values of k for which this has a solution. Okay, we are given 7 cos x plus 5 sin x. We need to find the number of integral values of k for which this is equal to this. So it's easy. You just have to convert this into a cosine or a sine function, which is very easy. You know that cos of a minus b is equal to cos a cos b plus sine a sine b. So I can convert this into this 7 square plus 5 square into cosine of x minus alpha. We can write this in just one cos term easily. So what I have done here is cos b and sine b. I have taken a number 7 and 5 in such a way, root 7 square plus 5 square. So this will become 7 by 7 plus 5 square, 7 square plus 5 square root, and this will become 5 by square root of 7 square plus 5 square. So this will become cos B and this will become sin B, and I will be able to write it in this form. We don't need to find the value of alpha, and this is how a general expression can be written in a trigonometric form. It's very easy, you just have to refer your book, you will find it. So 49 and 25 is 64, square root of 64 is 8. 8 cos x minus alpha. Now we know that this is equal to what? 2k plus 1. So 2k plus 1 is equal to this, and we know that cos theta can take any value between -1 to 1, including these two. So 2k plus 1 can be equal to -1 times 8 and 1 times 8, right? But cos can also take a value of 1 by 8, 2 by 8, 3 by 8, -1. So 2k plus 1 will vary between -8, -7, -6 to 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what I will do is I will subtract 1. So 2k will be varying between -9, -8 minus 1 is -9, -7 minus 1 is -8, -6 minus 1 is -7, dot dot dot, 8 minus 1 is 7. Now I divide this by 2. I will get -4.5, -4, -3.5, -3, dot dot dot, 3.5. But k can only be an integral value. So how many integers are there in this? Let us count. -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So how many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 values. So this is the answer. Okay, let's look at the last problem. So this is straightforward, very easy question. We know that secant theta is equal to square root of 1 plus tan square theta. So if I put tangent inverse of 5 by 2 as theta, what will I get? Secant of tangent inverse of y by 2 is equal to square root of 1 plus tangent of tangent inverse of y by 2 and whole square of this thing. So tangent of tangent inverse of y by 2 is just y by 2. Very easy. 1 plus y by 2 square. So which is equal to y square by 4. You can take 4 to the numerator, you will get this. 4 plus y square by 4, square root. Square root of 4 plus y square by 4. That's it, done. So these were the problems on trigonometry 2019 TS EMCET. This first problem was very simple, straightforward. Second is also very simple, straightforward. Third was a tough one. Uh, Fourth was a tricky one, not too difficult but not too easy either. And fifth was very easy. So if you have any doubts related to these problems, please let me know into the comment section. Thank you.